Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tim Dillon Show. Take a look at this.
I have a hot take. I actually like candy corn.
I do too! I'm too scared. That's so funny. I'm too scared to say it.
You're also dressed like a candy corn.
It's so controversial to say these days.
If you say that you like candy corn, people will like walk away.
So funny. I just said that yesterday and I was like, it tastes like buttery syrup to me, like Mrs. Buttersworth.
Melts in your mouth and has like a little crust on the outside. Anyway.
Dude, I'm not kidding. I wrote out a tweet that said, guys, I kind of like candy corn, and I deleted it, I backspace on it because I was like, too controversial.
Canceled.
Like, like not anymore.
God, please stop
not
that. Please stop that. Don't you see my point now that if Chrissy Teigen was eating children, it would be the coolest thing about her? Like, don't you get it now? Don't you understand that a lot of this QAnon shit makes these people look cooler than they are? Like, oh yeah, she's some like high priestess of the satanic religion. She's like a dumb trash bitch who somehow figured out a way to get famous, and she's sitting with Whitney talking about candy corn. I mean, you know, God bless Whitney. That Wendy Williams, what a woof. That was a big disaster. That week, and we love Whitney, but that week was a very large disaster. Whitney subbing in for Wendy Williams, who's, I believe, in rehab or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Or, and I don't, if she's not in rehab, I don't want to say she's in rehab.
And mental health relief. Let me double check on that.
Whatever's going on with her, we wish her well. And DeStefano went on there, and he had a rough go of it. Yeah. It's not an audience for comedy. They don't really want jokes. They want Wendy Williams, who is hilarious, and you can't compete with Wendy Williams. Just like the SNL audience, they don't really want comedy. They want to hear stuff, and they want to go, yes! Like, they want to, like energetically agree, and it's like a pep rally. It's just like a pep rally for people that, like, are not doing good and feel upset and got free tickets to a show, and they want to get, like, you know, pumped up. That's what it is. What is this? I want to talk about this cool mom who's going to jail, because I hate that. I hate when a rat implicates a cool mom. Everybody knows that when you were in high school, you were in this weird in-between, between being a child and being an adult. You got to learn how to be an adult. And learning how to be an adult involves drinking, using drugs, and having sex. And a lot of times you need like a safe environment, or sometimes an unsafe environment, to do all of those things. That's where the cool mom becomes a thing. Kathy Griffin used to talk about this, like how Lindsay Lohan's mom, Dina Lohan, was like, one of the moms that would do coke with the kids and stuff, But, we had families like that. We had a woman when I grew up who had like a big eye, one big eye, and sold us all drugs. And we loved her because someone's got to treat you like an adult. This is my point. Somebody's got to treat you like an adult, even when you are undeserving of being treated like an adult. This woman had the gall, the unmitigated gall, to treat children like adults. Kids that are raging hormones that need a place to do drugs and fuck each other safely in a wealthy suburban home. This woman provided a 6,000 square foot house.
Big.
Yeah, a huge house with many different rooms and alcoves and places to go. And she created this environment where cool kids, or kids that were in the group, were able to go and get really drunk, test their limits, find out how much booze was too much booze. How are you supposed to learn this before you go to college and you look like an idiot? You have to learn it. In high school, you have to learn how much booze is too much booze. What drugs agree with your system, what drugs don't. And what she did was create a vibe. Truly. And she threatened a few people because cool moms, badass bitches like this woman have to threaten the weak because the weak are would-be rats who ruin it for everybody. And I mean, let's get into this story a little bit because as soon as I read it, I knew that a great injustice had been done. And one of the things that you know about me is I feel comedy is a way to correct all the injustices of the world. That's the way I feel. I don't think it is funny or should be funny. I think it should be about injustices and just to discuss trans people from any angle, pro, against, confused. And you know that the Democrats are they're now doing the bill, the Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema, they're going forward with the bipartisan infrastructure bill, and they're carving out money so that Dave Chappelle does 5 more specials all about trans people. And I thought it was a good compromise. I like that. Quote here, glad she's gone. Los Gatos reels after mom arrested for drunken teen sex parties. Shannon O'Connor was known as the cool but creepy mom. Read some of this, Ben, because I read this. I was incensed and enraged. And I don't really have an infrastructure to go and try to help this woman, but if I did, I really would.
So O'Connor is now facing 39 criminal charges, including 12 felony counts of child endangerment.
This is more than bin Laden. This is more than Osama bin Laden would have faced. By the way, all of the people who've done all of the things, the destroying of people's property, the burning down of small businesses, nobody's like facing anything. This woman is facing 39 criminal charges, 12 felony counts of child endangerment for, quote, allegedly plying teens with alcohol, getting them drunk to the point of vomiting, and encouraging them to have sex. You know what that used to be called? Being cool. What the fuck? It used to be called being cool. She's not fucking the kids. She's not watching them fuck. She doesn't have a Jeffrey Epstein-style surveillance system, right?
Right.
From what I understand.
Right.
She's simply creating the conditions, facilitating what may happen anyway. Maybe she's lighting a fire under a few of their asses to get it going. And she's being charged with... I knew parents back in the day who would buy us alcohol. My grandmother would buy us a bottle of vodka when we were in senior year. What is going on here? What are you supposed to do at a high school party? You're supposed to get drunk. If you're not drinking at a high school party, you're planning a school shooting. What is wrong? It's like the craziest thing I've ever heard. This woman is being treated. Now, she did chase down one of the girls and threaten her in the car. But again, you have to keep a tight circle. And this is the thing that there was one kid we used to hang out with where his parents, if there was a fight at the party, like his mother would start beating people. And she'd start, like, there was a kid on the ground, she was kicking him. They have to defend their homestead. Because when you decide to be the parents that allow debauchery and that type of thing to go on, when you allow parties, when you allow fun, when you make room for fun, when you open the door to a good damn time, people will threaten it. Outsiders come in, they get too drunk, they disrespect you, they threaten a rat, and you gotta control them physically. Many a time have I seen fights where like the parents just get involved because they have to defend their home. The arrest comes a year after a number of Los Gatos high school students started a, quote, Me Too Los Gatos movement. Can you imagine this? Can you imagine this, by the way? High school students started a Me Too Los Gatos movement complaining about, quote, rape culture at the school and staging a rally on campus. At the time, school officials said they could do little but contact local police about activities off campus, which they said they did in the O'Connor case when a parent complained. O'Connor, 47, was arrested in Idaho. A message left on her cell phone Wednesday afternoon was not returned. She and her husband, tech executive Robert Amaral, put their $4.7 million home on sale, right? To move to Idaho with O'Connor and her 3 sons. She's got 3 kids, a 15-year-old and a 13-year-old middle schooler. And I think it was a 15-year-old and his friends that she was, which is a little young. It is a little, in the defense of the people maybe overreacting. 15 is a little young. 17, senior year is a little bit more appropriate. But we had some fun junior year too. And I guess when you start junior year, you are 15. Okay, so she would go on Snapchat and talk to the kids and get them all to come to their house and get boozed up and fuck. This is what she did. And people have a problem with this.
Yes.
I mean, again, don't people realize one sophomore girl goes, I'm glad she's gone. It makes me feel safer. She purchased alcohol of the teenagers' choosing. How cool is that? And encouraged them to have sex in her home, in a rented beach house in Santa Cruz, and in a cabin in Lake Tahoe. Jesus Christ, you kids don't know how good you have it. Don't you know that this is never going to happen again? Nobody's ever going to buy you the alcohol you want and say, come fucking Lake Tahoe on my dime. It will never happen again. Yes, this bitch had some freak shit going on. Yes, probably there was something wrong. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. But just looking at this, if somebody says, come fuck at my beach house in Santa Cruz and I'll get you fucking lubed up with the booze of your choice, I'm telling you right now, I know it's offensive and horrible, but wait a few years, you're going to be dying. These same puritanical monster children are going to be at college with their pussies hanging out of a window trying to get fucked and their assholes and dicks. I'm not gendering this, but these same kids in a few years are just going to be, they're going to be dying to fuck in a beach house in Santa Cruz. Now, I do understand the concern here that the parents, I get it, because it's like, is she fucking the kid? It is weird because like, why is she so into it? Which is weird. I get it. I understand that. But I'm talking really more to the kids now. If you're a parent and you're freaked out about this, I totally understand. But to the kids right now, you're kind of being bitches about this. Truly. So in one case, when a girl was so drunk, she passed in and out of consciousness in a bedroom. O'Connor brought in a teenage boy who sexually assaulted her while the girl cried. Okay, well, now this isn't good. I don't read the whole article before I do the show. I don't really do the whole thing. I do Cliff Notes. You know what I mean? I don't go in and am I a prosecutor? Am I a lawyer? Do you think I'm a lawyer? So now this isn't good, but this is the first I'm hearing of this. And the girl says, quote, why did you leave me in there with him? The girl later asked O'Connor, the complaint said, why did you do that? You knew what he was going to do with me. First of all, too many likes. I'm not saying it deserves sexual assault, but way too many likes. O'Connor just laughed. It's unclear whether any of the boys who are juveniles will face any penalty. Some of the teenagers were so drunk they told authorities that one nearly drowned in a hot tub and another in a bathtub. But that's funny. Now, the rape is not. But I don't know. Here's the thing. That's one boy suffered a concussion when he fell off the back of O'Connor's car. She had been driving the boys around while they were drinking and allowed her son to drive in the school parking lot where the other boy was hanging on the back and lost his grip. I mean, here's the deal. The bitch liked to have fun. Again, this is no good about the sexual assault thing. That is not good. I didn't realize that. I thought this was more of just kind of like, get the kids drunk and we drive around the school parking lot. I mean, the woman's really psychotic because she's doing it in the school. I mean, it's wild.
They moved there specifically because the son met a girl online playing a video game, and that's why they moved to the school, to encourage him to hook up with her and the whole thing. So it's very orchestrated and very weird and planned.
Something's wrong. We know that. We understand that. But is it hack to just have the same take that everyone else is going to have, which is like, damn this woman to hell? I'm trying. Now she's accused of a $120,000 embezzlement scheme.
Yeah.
I'm trying to help you, Shannon, and you're making it hard. They make it so hard. You may have noticed his website has been using the nickname, quote, Cool Mom. Correct. I appropriated that to describe Shannon O'Connor. And by the way, even the fucking people are saying Cool Mom. The 47-year-old Los Gatos woman accused of throwing alcohol-fueled sex parties for teenagers and then moved to Idaho, where she was accused of doing the same there. But we are merely using the vernacular of the kids. As the Mercury News reported, when the story broke, O'Connor, 47, was apparently known as the Cool Mom, since the older son was in middle school and had raised eyebrows among some parents for her chumminess with the son's friends. You think it comes out that she was just fucking the kids?
Very possible, yeah.
It would have come out already, probably, though. We all feel that she's a threat to the community. We experienced her. We had people in Long Island that were fun, that parents that would allow us to drink and use drugs, and they would drink and use drugs with us, but they never really encouraged sex.
Right.
I think the worst thing that happened once was somebody I knew had sex with a girl, and the father at the house watched it. Like, my friend noticed he was just sitting in a corner watching. That was the worst that happened. But nobody knew beforehand that was going to happen. Quote, we are very grateful that the judge decided this today and didn't prolong this. And we got to be careful with how to title this on YouTube, because they're going to give us all kinds of problems.
Yeah.
We had dinner with some YouTubers the other night, and it's all in the titles. Nice people, huh? Did you enjoy the dinner?
It was great.
I had fun.
I had a lot of fun.
I had a lot of fun. It was good to speak to people in Los Angeles. It really is. I like to do these little dinner things and see where people are at. I want to see where people's heads are at. I think it's funny. And here's my thing with Cool Mom. Listen, as I read on, it's more complex than I had originally thought. I thought she was just getting people boozed up and saying, you guys can fuck in the house. But she's leading people in the room. There's people getting assaulted. That's not good. She's denied bail. Now they're accusing her of $120,000 embezzlement scheme. What does that mean?
So $120,000 in personal charges on company credit cards belonging to her former employer. And
that's a lot of booze for the kids.
I think I was reading, and there's tons of articles about this. I was reading she got limos for the kids, and there's a lot of stuff charged on the
I'm
cards.
going to tell you this. Many of the kids are going to look back and say that these were the greatest times of their lives. Not all of them, but many of them are going to look back and say these were the days. And it's sad. But I remember, we didn't, nobody in Long Island was a saint who was parenting us, letting us have parties. Nobody was a saint, but here's what we were able to do. Of course we would drink and vomit, and people would have sex, and there would be fights and whatever. The parents' job, I would hang out with the parents. I was the one who hung out with the parents because I didn't want to have sex with the women. And I enjoyed my friends, and we would get drunk, but I was always curious about how much money all the parents had. I always thought it was funny, right? I wanted to know how much money the parents had. So I would always talk to the parents, about all kinds of things, the changing neighborhood, a lot of the things that were going on, because I knew how to get into their circle of trust.
Sure.
I would just sit down in Long Island. In Long Island, if you want to get into someone's circle of trust, you just sit down, you have a drink, and you stare at them and you go, things feel different. Am I wrong? And they will go on for an hour. They'll be like, you're not wrong, and here's why. If this wasn't all creepy enough, we know that O'Connor and her two sons were found with at least 10 other teenagers in their Idaho home on the day that O'Connor was arrested 2 weeks ago. So the parties likely continued there with a different group of teens. So the cops roll in, and she's got 10 kids at the house.
Yes.
Partying.
And the whole reason they moved there, it says the son met someone while playing Fortnite online, and they believe that O'Connor moved with her sons to Idaho in order for her son to pursue a romantic relationship with this girl. And the mother of the girl said that O'Connor herself would lavish the girl with gifts, including roses, a $200 Tiffany necklace, and food deliveries.
Is it wrong to want the best for your children? Is it wrong to want the best for your children? BetterHelp, that's better H-E-L-P, better H-E-L-P. If there's something interfering with your happiness or preventing you from achieving your goals, BetterHelp will assess your needs and match you with a licensed professional therapist. You can start communicating in under 48 hours. It's not a crisis line. It's not self-help. It's BetterHelp. Sometimes you feel sad, you feel mad, you feel bad. You can't talk to your dad. And you say, I want to end it all, but you have a phone and you call BetterHelp.com. You go online and you set up a profile. You join the million people who have already taken charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. And if you don't like that professional, you can switch and change at any time because it's tailor-fit to your needs. It's about you. If the boss is making you mad, the girlfriend's riding you, the dog is barking a lot, your mother's a nut and you got a big butt and you sit around all day smoking pot. You hate everybody, you're not an entrepreneur. Gary Vee let you down. People on YouTube made you believe that things are possible when they are not. Everything's stress, you may have MS, life is a shitty thing. You call BetterHelp, H-E-L-P, BetterHelp, H-E-L-P. Everybody's gonna treat you with R-E-S-P-E-C-T. BetterHelp. Tim Dillon Show listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and Tim Dillon Show listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com. They are a big supporter of our show, and go and support them and your own mental health. That's BetterHelp.com/TimD. BetterHelp.com/TimD. Everybody needs a VPN. It's just the reality. You don't want the government snooping. You don't want them selling your information. I mean, come on. Every time you connect to an unencrypted network in cafes, hotels, airports, your online data is not secure. Any hacker on the same network can gain access and steal your personal data, financial details, passwords. Go into VPN. Just some cheap hardware is needed. A smart 12-year-old can easily hack you. So what you do is go and get the ExpressVPN. It creates a secure encrypted tunnel between your device and the internet hackers so they can't steal your sensitive data. It would take a hacker with a supercomputer over a billion years to get past ExpressVPN's encryption. Fire up the app and click one button to get protected. It works on all devices, phones, laptops, tablets, and more, so you can stay secure on the go. I use it. I love it. Ben uses it. He loves it. Everybody uses it. ExpressVPN. You know what I do? I watch Netflix from Kuala Lumpur with the ExpressVPN. And they have a succession there, but it's all about mangoes. Secure your online data today. I'm gonna kill myself in this chair. Where's our studio? You fucking nothing. Secure your you big failure. Big zero, Ben. Secure your online data today by visiting ExpressVPN.com/Tim Dillon. That's ExpressVPN, EXPRESSVPN.com/Tim Dillon. And you can get an extra 3 months free. ExpressVPN.com/Tim Dillon. ExpressVPN.com/Tim Dillon. These millennials. Now let's talk about this article in the New York Times. I'm thinking of selling my car. I don't want to drive anymore. You know, you and Ida made a good case that you thought I was going to kill someone with my car. And because I have rage issues and stuff, but I'd like to drive fast, but I think I'm going to get rid of it because I don't like driving, and I'll have a car in Texas when I'm there, but when I'm in LA, I kind of don't want a car. And I should start drinking again, even though it's been 12 years. If I don't have a car, is there anything wrong with me recreationally drinking and using drugs? What if the only thing keeping me sober was driving?
Oh, man.
Right? Would you feel pretty stupid then, huh?
Yeah, I would.
You convinced me to get rid of my car. But it's true. You should drive because you're like a wage slave and I'm regal. And a king should never drive. He should be driven.
That's right.
But a wage slave, and I want to get you a little box here for you to punch in and punch out. I want to hear the sound. By the way, the supply chain, there's ports. We went to Crate and Barrel the other day. The people that are still left in the workforce are losing it. This lovely woman was like, she's like, there's ships in the port of Los Angeles and they have all of our stuff. She goes, our stuff is on those ships. She was coming apart. Lovely woman, helped us a lot, but coming apart. And here's the headline. It says a record number of container ships waiting to enter ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach. There's a shortage of workers and stuff with the Coast Guard or the Port Authority? I don't know. But whatever it is, it's a massive problem where if you ordered a fucking ottoman, it is sitting on a ship, a container ship, out on the port. You almost want to take a boat out there and grab it and then boat back in. But we're going to talk now about this article that I read that I thought was, the New York Times writes a lot of articles that don't need to be written. And this is one of them. The 37-year-olds are afraid of the 23-year-olds who work for them. Quote, 20-somethings rolling their eyes at the habits of their elders is a long-standing trend. But many employers said there's a new boldness in the way Gen Z dictates taste. You know, we were talking about this last night at the little dinner. There's a nihilism. The Gen Z people that I've spoken to, whether it's the TikTok kids or people that have helped us with things, there's a nihilism to them, which is quite productive. And the nihilism is a reflection of they have seen so many institutions either lose credibility or outright fail in their lifetime. So the collapse of institutional credibility, which has been so widespread, has impacted the way they look at the world. And a lot of these kids now are self-starters. They're independent. They are early adapters onto things like TikTok. They get on there. They build things. They don't know what they're building. They don't know why they're building it. Some of them might. But I think they understand that they cannot wait. They cannot wait for any institution to give them a shot. And I think there's something that's very positive about that, right? I also believe there are many issues with that generation in terms of the fetishization of mental health, of sexual politics, of many other trends that I don't see as positive as I see the fact that, you know, independence and being a self-starter and being somebody who is not reliant on these archaic systems and structures, that is good. But I think some of these other things are a bit childish. But that's okay because I'm on my way out, right? I'm 36. I'm heading towards 37. I'm out. And you have to realize this, your late 30s. It's uncomfortable to realize that you're no longer, you don't matter. And the things you believe don't matter. You will hit peak earning, I guess, in your 30s, 40s, 50s. That seems to be when, if you can put together some type of career, that's the best years of your career. But what does that mean? The best years of your career, and Bill Burr talks about this, it's like when you have a kid, you just go in a sinkhole for 18 years and you don't know what's going on. Then you stick your head back up and you're like, wait, what happened? The same as when you hit like a stride in your career, you're not culturally, you know, looking at everything and taking everything in. You don't have as much time to do the things that young people do to kind of steer culture. You just don't. You're not tweeting about your favorite band when you're 40. I hope not. Some people are. But people are now with the rapper who did the anti-Biden rap.
Yeah.
You know, all of a sudden everybody on Facebook, my aunt loves rap now. My aunt loves rap. She spent years talking about how it was the scourge of the inner cities. Her words. Now she loves rap. But the vast majority of people aren't. But this article in the New York Times is basically saying that like millennials, the millennial generation is like a soft generation, but they're weirdly conniving, emotionally manipulative. They all want gold stars. They're kind of despicable. They are institutionalists, the millennials. They are people that love getting a pats on the back and, ribbons pinned to them. From what and I am a millennial, and I've seen the way millennials behaved. It was the generation that talked about colleges and getting into colleges, and you got to fill out your applications, and everything was just this, mad dash for some type of acceptance. It was this very visceral. You could see it on people's faces, need to be told that they were good enough and that they did the quote unquote right thing. And it was formulaic. And the way that we were brought up was that we were just threatened with college, threatened. If you didn't go to college, what will people think of you? And you won't be able to find any work, and you better live in fear. It was a fear-driven culture. And that's the millennial culture to me. Gen Z seems a lot more nihilistic. They don't seem to be looking for approval as much, even though as human beings we all do. But those are the main differences that I've noticed, that they seem to be black-eyed nihilists, as the Big Lebowski, right? Isn't that the quote?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I mean, these people, Gen Z, seem to be a lot more independent, and they lay things on the table a little bit more than I think millennials would. I think there may be, dare I say, less baggage with some of the, and I know highly productive people from the generation. I don't know people that aren't doing anything. But from this article, a lot of it is like, hey, Gen Z people telling their bosses, when I'm done with my tasks, can I go? Can I leave? And again, is some of that laziness? Maybe. But I think some of it is like, do you know how much wasted time that millennials wasted in offices? Going out for hour and a half long lunches and going and, how long it took someone to open a box of Keurig K-Cups for the coffee machine, and how much bullshit went on that wasn't work. And it became like this weird environment for people to enjoy being in my suit and tie, and I'm drinking coffee at the desk. And it was this weird performative life. And Gen Z people are kind of like, hey, man, let me out of here. If I'm done, let me get the fuck out. Let me leave. Can I leave? I did what you wanted me to do. Let me leave. Also, Gen Z has no respect for their bosses. You don't have any respect for the people that are, and now that has positives and negatives. You don't want to completely not have respect for people, but you should never be completely bowled over or too impressed with anybody, especially if your job eventually is going to be to do what they do. You should have a, pretty reasonable assessment of what they do, how they do it better than you. And a lot of these people are noticing that these people actually don't do anything better than me. They've just sucked off the right people. They've played the corporate game long enough. They have the right bullshit, fake, superficial manner about them that has allowed them to fail upwards and ascend the corporate ladder. So these little nihilists are coming to the office, refusing to respect these people. And one of them, one of the young people in this article asked the team leader or the boss, the manager, to do something. They're like, can you do it? And managers hate that when they're asked to do a task. A lot of these people are just completely they're completely shocked that they would be asked to do something. Also, they're a lot more political, which can get annoying because they want they want your kombucha to, make a stand. They want your kombucha, to start talking about controversial political topics. They are much more willing to do that stuff. They're calling it the kids these days effect. They've noticed it's been happening for a while. Each new generation brings something a little different. But, older generations are much more likely to go, hey, let's leave politics out of things. And kids want everything to be political, younger Gen Z people. I don't work in an office. And one of the reasons I don't work in an office, I've spent a lot of time in an office. Just like I've spent too much time in a car. I've spent too much time in an office. Offices are, for the most part, not always, but you hit a wall, and it's diminishing returns in an office. And I think Gen Z is kind of realizing that. The younger kids are realizing I could be out doing my own thing. I could be on OnlyFans, or I could be on Patreon, or I could be on YouTube or TikTok or Twitch. I could be on any of these platforms. I could have an e-commerce business. I could make shit and sell it. I could go out and sell things. I could do any number of jobs that don't require me to be here in this office staring at these people. Because when you're in an office, you just end up staring at a lot. You know, there was a woman, Doreen, we used to work with, who started in mortgages as a very sweet, nice mom. She was like the mom of the office. And she started as like a secretary. And she was just a fun secretary. She liked having a few drinks. She'd always she was a sweet woman, and probably still is, you know? A nice, not too far from cool mom, probably.
Okay.
And as things progressed, she got into being a loan officer. She started to work as in the, but then by the end of it, she had to be fired for stealing deals, and it was a whole thing. So what I'm saying is the culture can, really do something to you. So you got to watch out. But I mean, this is a hard article to care about either way. Here it goes some guy who owns a food business is he heard from junior staff asking if his company would post a black square in solidarity with the BLM movement on Instagram. Elaine Purcell, 34, co-founder of the maternity care startup ULA, got a Slack message from one of her youngest workers after the shootings at Atlanta area spas in March asking what the team could do in solidarity with Asian Americans. So they are more politically minded, the young people. Yeah. And then one of the quotes is, you talk to older people and they're like, dude, we sell tomato sauce, we don't sell politics. Said Mr. Kennedy, co-founder of Plant People. Then you have younger people being like, quote, these are political tomatoes. This is a political tomato sauce. Yeah, I mean, this is the big divide, right? Seemingly, the millennials, one good thing about the millennials, if there are good things about the millennial generation, is that maybe they know when to shut up. Maybe they do. I don't even know. I'm positing that. And the only reason I say that is because at the end of this article, they all go on some retreat, and they said the Gen Z people were much more likely to here we go. Emily Fletcher, who runs Ziva Meditation, noticed at her company retreat, the junior people were the ones who were most comfortable stretching the bounds of what's considered professional conversation. This became apparent when the staff participated in an exercise she calls the Suffy Awards, sitting around the campfire and sharing personal sources of suffering from last year. By the way, who's doing that? The Suffy Awards. Sitting around a campfire and sharing personal stories of suffering from last year. This is a perfect example of what millennials do. They go, we want to hear about all your suffering, and we're going to award you based on who suffered the most. It makes everything this weird game. Everything this weird need to win. It's odd. To earn recognition. Your suffering should earn you recognition. Okay? So she said about Gen Z, quote, they celebrate human emotion instead of having an outdated framework of what corporate should be. Her company culture has relaxed even more. But here, go up for a second. Ms. Fletcher said getting the most vulnerable by speaking about partners cheating on them. So these kids were speaking at the Suffy Awards about partners cheating on them or about the loneliness of a solo quarantine. This is maybe where you go, just shut up. Truly, they'll use it against you. They're going to use it against you. All the things you're admitting to them at the Suffy Awards, why? I would not go. If they're like, we're doing a retreat, we're going to sit around a campfire. It's like, this is why I've never, even when I was in sales, I wanted to stay away from corporate America. Because when people start saying we're going to a campfire, I'm like, no, we're not. We are not doing that. Yeah, we're going to sit around and tell each other. No, corporate friendship building exercises, not for me. Truly not for me. And this is where I kind of draw the line. This is why I could never function in like a corporate company other than Spotify. Because if Spotify were to hand me money, then I would absolutely go sit by a fire and talk about all of my problems. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see what the future. Please, what is this? What keeps going on here?
Izina.
What about what?
I'm not sure. I can check. She wanted a pic of your odometer.
We're not there. Tell her you get it tomorrow. Christ almighty. Fuck. Enough. But it's interesting. I spoke to Anna Kashian about this a lot. About the kind of millennial narcissism and the idea that everybody needs to get a medal. Unlike me, I deserve it. I get nothing. I deserve all the medals, and I'm given nothing. Growing up, cereal is one of the best parts of being a kid, but I had to give it up because I realized it was full of sugar, and I don't eat sugar. I've never had sugar. So we're all trying to get better, eat better, but healthy breakfasts don't have to be boring. Do you think that healthy breakfasts have to be boring?
I don't think so.
But you did.
I used to.
Why?
Because I hadn't heard of this company.
But why did you think that healthy breakfast had to be boring?
Because I don't know, you do like we do spinach with like a poached egg. It's boring.
But you know that you could have meats in there.
I guess I could.
You could have bacon and sausage.
It's boring.
It's boring to have eggs and bacon or smoked salmon?
It's so traditional and
or ancient grains?
I don't know.
It's boring?
That's what my parents
Why
say.
did you think it was boring? When you know if you have an American cheese omelet with bacon, it's fucking good. If you have a Western omelet, it's good. Why did you think it was boring?
Because I want a sugary cereal to get my day
That's
going.
a different question. You just said that you believed healthy breakfasts were boring. I'm telling you that breakfast is the easiest meal to eat healthy because you can choose an array of meats and cheeses and veggies to make something really cool like a frittata. And you're sitting here with a shit-eating grin on your face and you refuse to tell me why you think healthy breakfasts are boring. Why are they boring?
It's boring to be healthy, in my opinion. It's boring to be healthy.
Is that what's happening, or are you lying because of the ad?
No, I want to be stimulated.
Are you lying because in the ad it says that, and you're agreeing with the ad?
No, when I eat an omelet, I want to fall asleep. I'm so bored.
They deserve better than you lying to them.
I'm not lying to you.
You're lying right now.
I'm not.
Because if I brought you eggs scrambled with American cheese and chicken sausage and spinach and salsa and all, you would like it.
Yeah, I'd like that.
So what the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you lying?
It's still less exciting than a bowl of sugary cereal.
I do like cereal. What are we talking about?
Magic Spoon cereal.
What is it?
It's 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and only 4 net grams of carbs in each serving. Only 140 calories a serving. It's keto-friendly, gluten-free.
Do you think Facebook took the thing down where I said I was going to sell the maid?
Maybe.
Still no.
It's grain-free, soy-free, and low-carb. And you can build your own box.
Oh, do they have flavors like cookies and cream and maple waffle?
They do. They have cocoa, fruity, frosted, peanut butter, blueberry, cinnamon, cookies and cream, and maple waffle. Oh, and they just recently brought back 2 super popular flavors.
But it sounds like it's so sugary that as soon as I eat it, I'm going to go crazy and kill everyone I know.
No, it can just be like
it sounds, you know what happens when I have sugar? I hit people, everyone, men, women, children, I don't care. I react violently to sugar. I choked my aunt once up against her bathroom door. I just started choking her like this. And I saw the veins in her eyes start to bulge.
Which one?
Which what?
Which aunt?
Many of them. Now, what about this? This I won't choke them?
Yeah, it's like think of like a guiltless midnight snack.
No such thing. If you're eating at midnight, you're a slob.
Well, if you're eating out of your window, I guess. If you try to stay an 8-hour window, but you could start eating at 4 and then have a
What are you even talking about right now?
Intermittent fasting.
That has nothing to do with this. What is this product?
MagicSpoon.com/TimDillon.
And they're a big supporter of this show.
Huge.
Because people want sugar, but they can't have it because they're little fatties. But Magic Spoon makes it better, right?
It does, yeah.
So that the people can eat the sugar. It feels like sugar, but it's not.
Yeah, if you want to grab a custom bundle of cereal and try it today,
I do.
Well, then use the promo code TIMDILLON at checkout to save
Go
$5.
to magicspoon.com/TimDillon. Grab a bundle of any cereal and try it today. And be sure, should I do it this fast? Wouldn't it be good if I did everything this fast? Go to magicspoon.com/TimDillon to grab a bundle of custom bundles to try it today. And be sure to use your promo code TimDillon to checkout to save $5 over your order. And Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it's backed with 100% happiness guarantee. So this is when I could do when you go very fast, auctioneering. Ready? Go up. I want to read it real fast.
Okay.
Just to show people I can do it. 0 grams of sugar, 30 40 grams of protein, only 4 grams of carbon each serving, only 140 calories a serving. It's keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, and low-carb. Build your own brothers. No, but I can do it. Hold on. Shut up! Build your own bowl, available flavors. Build your own box, available flavors to build your own very custom bundle of cocoa, fruity, frosted, peanut butter, blueberry, cinnamon, cookies, and cream, and maple waffle. Go to magicspoon.com, TimDillon, to grab a custom bundle of cereal and try it today. And be sure to use the promo code TimDillon and check it to save $5 off your order.
Nice.
Magicspoon.com/TimDillon. Magicspoon.com. I use this. I love Simply Safe. It was named the best home security system of 2021 by U.S. News & World Report. You can easily customize a system for your home online in minutes and get a free custom recommendations from Simply Safe. We all know the realities of the world right now, and unfortunately, people are going to come in your house and kill you. I mean, this is not rhetoric. This is the reality. Okay? Do you want that? I don't want it. No. So if you want to protect your family, your pets, yourself, you got to go to Simply Safe. It's a security system. Okay? Here's what they do. They make sure it's safe inside, outdoor, indoor and outdoor cameras, comprehensive sensors, all monitored around the clock by trained professionals who send help the instant you need it. You know who turned me on to this? Your brother.
Oh, really?
Because he said this is one of the best.
He sells alarms. He recommended this.
He did.
Mm-hmm.
I like it because I like to sleep easy, and I don't want people trying to kill me and succeeding. I know they're going to try to do it, but I would rather them to be stopped somewhere between they having the idea to do it and then doing it. There are no long-term contracts or commitments. It is a really easy way to start feeling a bit more peace of mind. Take advantage of Simply Safe's holiday sale. Get 40% off your new home security system by visiting simplysafe.com/TimDillon. Again, that's simplysafe.com/TimDillon for 40% off your entire system. Hurry, this offer ends soon. So here's the Facebook shit. Now, they're changing their name to Meta. I'm old enough to remember when Facebook was, college kids trying to get laid. By the way, if Facebook was still functioning like that, we wouldn't need Cool Mom to be driving kids around getting them slammed. But because Facebook is no longer functioning as a dating app for children, it is now functioning as a place for elderly people to scream into the void, to post pictures of their dead dogs, to talk about their knee operations, and to start, these long threads where people are trying to educate each other on all manner of topics. They think the problem with Facebook is misinformation. All social media is misinformation, whether it's Russia or your mother-in-law. Everybody on Facebook is lying. And so you have a whistleblower, and this bitch comes out, and Facebook is now changing their name to Meta, which is weird because a restaurant in Long Island I liked did that. Oh, yeah. Still a good restaurant. Facebook fails to moderate harmful content in developing countries. What did this whistleblower do? Why is she... What is the big deal here?
Basically, she's saying that they're focusing, they care more about profit than the safety of their users. So they allow hateful content and hate groups and people like that to spread tons of misinformation that gets people killed.
But those are their users. Hate groups are your users. If someone's starting a hate group on your platform, they are a user, are they not? Quote, Facebook was aware that maids were being sold on its platform. Internal documents show that Facebook admitted it was, quote, under-enforcing on confirmed abusive activity when it failed to take action after Filipina maids complained of being abused and sold on the platform, according to the Associated Press. Quote, in our investigation, domestic workers frequently complained to their recruitment agencies of being locked up in their homes, starved, forced to extend their contracts indefinitely unpaid, and repeatedly sold to other employers without their consent. one Facebook document read. In response, agencies commonly told them to be more agreeable. It's not horrible advice. So what is it? Is it Facebook's fault that people are using Facebook to buy and sell maids?
Yeah, and like the January 6th stuff. And
Should I post a status right now? Anybody want a maid? I'm going to post a status and see if it gets taken down. Let's test this right now. I'm going to do it to see if it actually works here.
Okay.
I'm posting a status right now. What's on your mind? Does anyone want a maid? I have one chained up in my basement. She will work. You can hit her. And then under it, I'm going to write test. See that? Mm-hmm. Does anyone want a maid? I have one chained up in my basement. She will work. You can hit her. Test. Post. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
I was unaware of this, that people were buying and selling maids. Is this only in the Philippines?
Yeah, so they're really bad at managing things in other countries because they can't speak the language very well. So then there's like hate groups in like India against like Muslim people. If
you are determined to sell a maid, aren't you going to sell a maid? I mean, this is the reality. How many roadblocks do we have to put up before people realize that if you were, what do you mean the AI struggles with non-English languages? Isn't this a highly sophisticated artificial intelligence system?
For like English, yeah.
They can't understand Filipino?
Apparently not. It says they support 50 languages when in reality, most of those languages get a tiny fraction of the safety systems that English gets. So they kind of, with the other countries, they just kind of let them run amok. Is the status okay? Did they take it down?
It's still up.
Nice.
See, maybe this is a problem. The Wi-Fi's not good here. I have 5 likes. Does anyone want a maid? I have one chained up in my basement. She will work. You can hit her.
See, look, like Myanmar, they couldn't identify hate speech in Ethiopian languages. So there was no safeguards for those countries.
Well, what are they doing that's so bad? I don't care about hate speech. I'm more concerned with the selling of the maids.
Well, yeah, that's the worst thing to me, too.
Don't you think the maids are like, can we stop focusing on the hate speech? I'm in a closet. I'm getting hit with a broom. Doesn't that make more sense?
Yeah.
Facebook's algorithm mistakenly banned a hashtag referencing the, quote, Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem's Old City because it thought it represented the militant group Al-Aqsa Martyrs Brigade, who we like. We are like them. An armed offshoot of the secular Fatah Party document show. A lot of our fans are in Al-Aqsa Martyrs Brigade. The company later apologized, but the accidental removal of content serves as a shining example. I love that. Serves as a shining example for how the social media giants' algorithms can stifle political speech due to language barriers and lack of resources outside of North America. So this whole thing's about languages?
Yeah.
Something, I smell a rat. I don't agree with this. This can't be about that you don't understand what does anyone have a maid in Filipino language, in Telugu or whatever the hell they speak? I want to beat my maid in Filipino. Nobody understands what that is. Hey, my maid's dead. Anyone got another one? So as long as I write that in non-English, I'm okay. Something's wrong. But what about the whistleblower? People say she's a creep. Because the Greenwald made a point. A lot of this seems to be like, okay, we take the power away from these tech oligopolies, but then who gets it? The government? Mm-hmm. Does anyone feel better with the government running the show? You don't think they're going to ban you? They'll ban you.
This is her, Frances Haugen.
Where's she from?
Let me see here. I know she's in Europe right now doing this whole thing.
This woman is is she like Snowden? Is she going to have to leave the country?
She's from Iowa City.
Is Zuckerberg going to have her whacked? I mean, why don't you grow some balls and have this woman killed? Truly, let's play with this creep said with the Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce on the back. And I said that this guy, he doesn't, Sweet Baby Ray, he doesn't know that it goes on the food. He's just trying to like be a human being. But hey, Zuck, why don't you grow some balls and have this whistleblower fucking whacked? Have her killed. Have this bitch killed. She's fucking your shit up.
So this is
Stop being a fucking pussy and have her killed. Act like a fucking boss. Why don't you ever act like a boss? You always go into Congress and you're always fucking pale and weird and fucking equivocating. Get this bitch stomped out. American History X style. Make her bite the curb. Remember that scene? Bite the curb and then
stomp.
with the boot? Do it to this bitch. I want you to watch her get killed, Zuck. Like Khashoggi was getting tortured and then MBS watched it. Again, allegedly. No issues with them. Allegedly, he was watching it. I want Zuckerberg to watch this woman get killed. Let's see what he has to say. I'm on his side here a little bit.
So this is the rebrand with Meta. So this is the sneak peek at the Facebook Metaverse.
Now, Meta is going to be a better place to sell the maids. Is that what we're... Because they're creating a world where maids will be sold seamlessly.
Okay, here we go.
I need a maid.
Are you coming?
Yeah, just gotta find something to wear. All right, perfect.
Boy.
Oh, hey, Mark. Hey, what's going on?
Hi, Mark. What's up, Mark?
Whoa, we're
Now,
floating
here's the
in
deal.
space.
That big creature is the maid. They don't show the real maid because she's bruised and bloody. So what Zuckerberg has done is he has an avatar for his maid so that it disguises the substantial physical damage he's done to her. Continue. This is brilliant. I respect this guy.
And for anyone confused, this is through VR goggles. It's through
Right, because if you were to look at it in actuality, you would just see a bleeding Filipino maid.
Who made this place? It's awesome.
Who made this
Right?
place? The
It's
maid.
from the creator. I met in L.A.
What happened to
This
the
place
maid?
is amazing.
This is cool. This is like
that you?
VR.
Of course it's me.
Hey,
you know I had to be
is
the
there a
robot,
maid?
man.
Wasn't there a maid?
was
I hear
supposed to be the
knocking in
robot.
a garage. What happened to the maid?
knew you were bluffing.
I don't know. I think she got sick.
Hey, wait.
The maid got sick.
Let's call her.
She's not around anymore. Stop asking questions about the fucking maid.
Hey, should we deal you in?
Sorry, I'm running late, but you gotta see what we're checking out. There's an artist going around Soho hiding AR pieces for people to find.
Wow.
3D street art?
There's people in the Philippines going around hiding maids.
Look
Are you guys up on that or no?
Stunning.
Or are you just concerned about the
awesome.
augmented
Wow,
reality
movement.
Wait,
pieces?
it's
How about the
disappeared.
actual reality where maids are getting beaten to
Hold
death
on, I'll tip the
on
artist
your
and they'll accept
website?
it.
Does anyone concerned with that or not?
If you guys like
Or
it here,
because you
I have
guys
another
can't
video I love.
decode
Check out this
the
forest.
Filipino language.
Huh, let's see it.
This is like after 9/11 when they're like,
What
the
you say?
CIA doesn't understand Arabic. I'm like, no, they understand it fine when they plan the attack. They were like, well, the CIA didn't know anything about the attack because they don't speak Arabic. I said, I think they spoke it well when they were training the hijackers in fucking Arizona. Anyway,
And Florida.
contact us for brand deals. But do you see what I mean here? And I want to end with Brian Laundrie being alive because he is alive. Brian Laundrie is being hid by his parents. Canal, who opened for me, showed me this video of Brian Laundrie being the parents have a flower bed in the backyard. And you see this video. I urge everyone to look at it. Under the flower bed, there's some weird thing that happens where you see a hand kind of go up. I think she's passing him a note. Here's what happened. See, look at this. Bizarre viral conspiracy theory claims Brian Laundrie is hiding under parents' flower bed. Yeah, bizarre conspiracy theory, says Jeffrey Epstein has an island. Bizarre conspiracy theory. Now, here's the deal. Is this going to be my Sandy Hook, the laundry thing, where I have to come back? Probably. But I'm still sticking to this. Brian Laundrie is alive because they only found his teeth. It's very easy to get somebody's teeth out of their mouth. I don't know that they've made a positive ID on any of the other bones. And the parents were in the park looking for him and said to meet the cops there. They're like, meet us there. And that was the day they found him. Very strange. Can you show the actual video, Ben, and not some fucking Newsweek?
Yeah, I just clicked on the link. It's a dead link. Hold on.
Get
me try this
the
one.
video up where you can literally see something going on. There's a flower bed. They're around it. And then all of a sudden you see something, you see a hand. If you close up on the video, you see a hand. Something is coming out from the side of the flower bed, and it looks like a hand. You can see it right there. See it there again. Go back. Watch it again. You see something coming out. She looks like she's doing something, and then all of a sudden you see a hand come up like she's doing something, and you see a hand come up. Something is coming up over there.
That's strange.
Brian Laundrie is alive. I'm calling it right now. Should that be our first versus game? Is Brian Laundrie alive? That website Versus, the app, where you can predict things that are going to happen, and I make really good predictions. So we're going to start doing stuff with them, but maybe that should be one of our first games. Is Brian, like, when does Brian Laundrie get found? Because I believe that Brian Laundrie is alive. And you know why? His parents are from Long Island. When he came home and he's like, I choked that bitch out, his parents were like, I told you she was no good. You're my beautiful baby, his mother said, as he stood there and confessed to killing his girlfriend. You're my beautiful baby. That bitch was no good, said his father. And they're like, get under the flower pot. We'll drug you up, take a few of your teeth. This will be done in no time. He's alive. Brian Laundrie is alive. We are going to the UK, and we're very excited about it. We are really going. We're not fucking around. We're announcing these dates in the UK. It's been a dream of mine to do comedy in the UK. I've already done it, but it's another dream, and I'm doing it again. I've done it in Scotland, but we're going now to London. We're going to Ireland. We're going to Scotland. It's going to be big. Big, baby. January 13th, we're in Dublin. January 15th, we're in London. January 15th, we're in London. January 16th, we're in London. January 16th, we're in London. Do you get it? 15th and 16th, we're in London. The 13th, we're in Dublin. No Scotland, huh? I wanted to do Scotland. We're going to do Scotland soon. Where can they go get tickets?
Okay, so the links, we will have them Monday, November 1st at 9 a.m. local time. Tim's Artist Presale will start on Tuesday, 11/2 at 9 a.m.
We will pump this on social media. There's a lot of people that want to come out to the UK. We're excited to be there. We want to eat some of their horrible food. The only thing good there is Indian food. And obviously, if you spend a lot of money to go to a Michelin star restaurant, you can get good stuff. But I mean, the everything else is just dog food. The English roast is atrocious. Maybe change my mind, as Steven Crowder would say. English roast sucks. Change my mind. It's an overcooked piece of meat with Yorkshire pudding and tasteless gravy and mushy peas. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'll go out and have an amazing one. But the food in England is quite literally for the birds. But we hope that doesn't influence your buying of tickets. We're going to have a good time. We're back on the road. We're in Indianapolis on the 3rd, Indiana. There are tickets left on Wednesday. We have 2 shows in Pittsburgh. We've added a second show. Okay, Carnegie Music Hall sold out. Our second show is going to be there. Really, really great. And then Washington, D.C., one of my favorite places to do comedy. There are some tickets left on Saturday. So that's our little run for the next week. And then we've got, of course, a ton of other dates on the website. But we have Indianapolis, Morgantown, West Virginia. I can't forget that. So Indianapolis on the 3rd, Morgantown, West Virginia on the 4th, then 2 shows in Pittsburgh on Friday, finally Saturday in Washington, D.C. Opening for me, the great Sam Talent. Hosting the show, Cool Mom. We're bailing her out. Cool Mommy. Hey, man, I don't know what to say. It's hard to make moral judgments, but sometimes they need to happen. You should never be facilitating sexual assault. And she seems to have a little weird relationship with the kids where she's Snapchatting the kids. But, you know, I do recognize the value of this human being, the wild mother. the mother who doesn't accept that she's old, who wants to get fucked up with the kids. This is an important, you need these train wrecks in your life to teach you what you don't want to be, but also allow you to drink and use drugs. You should go from loving these parents to thinking, oh, this is a little sad. First year of college, you start looking back and going, yeah, it's a little sad, but you still have fun with them, you still drink with them because it's kind of all they have. But you need those people. Those parents are essential when you grow up. You didn't have any of that. You didn't have any of this. No, this is essential. If you're a human, it is essential to have these kind of, somebody's mother's got to be a basket case, right? Someone's mother's got to be a basket case who's unwilling to admit that she's old and she wants to hang out and party and get fucked up and teach you that life can be fun. Life can be fun. Breaking the rules can be fun. Drinking when you shouldn't, getting fucked up in a big-ass house, and getting your dick wet. Now, consensually. So I don't know what Cool Mom was doing, but I'm happy to have her on the tour. Stay away from Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook. You know what they're doing over there. They're selling maids. That's what the whole site is now. Bunch of maids for sale. Let's see, by the way, if this worked.
The Facebook post?
Yeah, Ben. Thanks for paying attention. Notifications. 70 likes and comments, and nobody is... No, it's not down. So Mark Zuckerberg, does anyone want a maid? I have one chained up in my basement. She will work. You can hit her.
And you did that 20 minutes ago. That's enough time to make a transaction. Yeah.
I've already sold my maid. I don't need to have it up anymore. The buyer has already come to my house and walked out of it with a chained up maid. Hey, thanks, Facebook. This is what I mean about these social media. Mark Zuckerberg is facilitating the beatings of maids. And Cool Mom was just trying to have a little fun in the burbs. And yet one of them's a billionaire and one of them's in jail. Is that okay? Well, I think not. All the while, Brian Laundrie is alive, living very comfortably under a flower bed with his Long Island degenerate parents in Florida. I'm the only one who's bringing this up because the New York Times is writing about pussy millennials that are scared of nihilist Gen Z cretins. Well, how about ditching the office anyway? Go and do your own goddamn thing. You don't need fucking human resources. You don't need corporate retreats. Get on fucking Facebook and buy and sell a maid. And if you don't do that, you're a fucking shill. You're a cog in the wheel. Facebook facilitates the buying and the selling of human beings. Chattel. Modern day slavery. And there's not a goddamn thing we can do about it. There's nothing we can do about it. So you better embrace it. You better sell or get sold. If you are not selling a maid on Facebook, you're a maid that's going to get sold. And I bet that's what Cool Mom said to the kids when she locked them in a room and she told them to fuck each other's brains out. She said, you're either a maid getting sold or you're one doing the selling. What do you think her last words were when the cops busted in and they put her in the back of a paddy wagon and drove her away? Cool Mom looked at all those kids and said, listen, this is the price of cool. I've seen a lot of people leaving cop cars. Some of my friends' parents. The price of being cool is leaving in a cop car. Truly. And that's what you probably mouthed to the kids. This is the price of being cool. She said, let them say anything they want about me. But I was cool. I let you get fucked up, didn't I? I let you do whatever you wanted. Let them say what they want about me. Doesn't matter. Because I ain't no maid. And she got in the car And then they just drive her off into the metaverse. And now Cool Mom will arrange child sex orgies in the metaverse. And all will be right with the world. It'll fix everything. Just a bunch of avatars getting drunk and fucking in a 6,000 square foot home in Tahoe. This is the society and world that we've created. And this is the one that we must endure. Goodbye until next week. Get your maids. Get them now.
Hello?
Colin
Hello?
Quinn, Tim Dillon, how are you?
Hi, Tim.
You're on
Playing
my
your show.
you're on my podcast, and we're very excited about your new show.
Well, thank you. Remember the first and last time I was on your podcast, about 5 or 6 years ago, I was doing my other show, and I remember distinctly saying, I'm doing you a favor being on here, and you know it. And now, you might say the tables have turned. That's how the world works.
Well, I don't know about that. I'm very excited. Now, your last show was Red
Don't-
State, Blue State. It was, I saw it. It was hilarious. Where are you going? Are you going with the same idea of like, you do a brilliant job at like taking these very big ideas and making them funny? Is that what the new show is? Can you tell us like about the new show at all?
Well, put it this way. If you don't like my new show, nobody will. It discusses everything that's going on right now and in the, and where it's all leading and what it all means. That's how I feel about it. It's funny, of course, but I mean, that's the thing people have to remember in comedy. Be funny at all times. But,
Right.
yeah, it's the same thing, only it's obviously a different situation. More dire, you might even say, as me and you both know.
Every one of your projects is very ambitious. Like everything you're like, it's everything that's going on, what it all means, and where it leads. And most people now do a special on HBO, and they're like, what's it about? And they're like, my mom's a drunk. Like, I was poor. It was weird. I wore a dress to a Chick-fil-A. Someone gave me a dirty look. That's what my hour's about. But I'm excited to see this. Now, you're doing a run in New York City?
Yeah, I'm doing 3 weeks in New York. And hopefully I'll be able to sneak over to the Beacon and see your show.
I would love that if you can, but I figured that you were probably busy doing your show that night.
I'm doing my shows, but I've had a couple of friends go see you undercover in California, and they said it's brilliant.
Well, that's very good of them.
And hilarious, by the way.
Oh, good. Where did they go?
I think it went to not Irvine, what's that other place?
Ontario, out in the desert.
Yes, Ontario.
Yeah. I spent half of my set, there was a circus next to me, and I spent half of my set lamenting that I wasn't booked at the open-air tent circus next door because, I mean, when the world's ending, why pretend anymore? Let's just get in the real tent. I'm glad we have your manager and my good friend Brian will be coming. So you let us know there'll be a ticket for you. Where can people kind of grab tickets? Are there tickets still available to your run, or are they all sold out?
They're selling out quickly. Just kidding. There's plenty available.
Okay.
Yeah. Now they can just go to colinquinn.com. It's really,
colinquinn.com to get tickets. It's at the Lucille Lortel Theatre. It's a run from November 2nd to the 20th. What I love about Colin is he does a run. You do a run in one theater, you get to know the theater. That's what I really respect about this. What you do is like, you just put on a show. It's like that old tradition of New York theater that I used to be a part of when I was 9 years old, where you would do a run for 3 to 4 weeks in one theater in the Village, in like a black box theater.
Yes,
and
that's my out-of-town run.
Yeah, and are you touring it afterwards, after New York?
People used to the out-of-town run was Philly in those days.
Right.
I reversed it. I make the out-of-town run New York. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Hit all the usual suspects. We're talking about the Wilbur. We're talking about the steel stacks in Bethlehem. We're talking about all those places. Those formerly once great Lake Erie type places.
Yeah, it's where
All
comedy thrives. Where comedy thrives. If there's a
Where
mobile
comedy thrives.
morgue, comedy's doing well.
Yeah, where men once built this country.
That's true. We call them birthing persons now. We're birthing persons.
Yeah, we're birthing persons once built this country.
Once built this country. No, those old places are great to do stand up, and it's great. I just got back from Portland and Seattle, and yes, it's a hotbed of anarchy and crime, but there's something brilliant about just the gray, rainy, heroin addicted atmosphere. The crowds are really great because they really want to laugh.
But it also probably genetically reminds you of our old country.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, you ever see Train Spotting?
Of
We should do
course.
an American Train Spotting.
Yeah, that is right. That's a good point. Have you been back? I'm going to Dublin to perform in January. Have you been back there recently?
The last time I was there was 3 years ago, and it was amazing. I mean, and Mark Norman made the observation about the crowds. He goes, because they're drinking the whole time.
Yes.
And he goes, these crowds are drinking the whole time, even we're doing like 9:30, 10 o'clock shots. He goes, but they are not easy. You live and die off every joke.
Yes.
They want to hear exactly what you're saying next, and they're not there. There's no momentum with the Irish people where you're like,
right.
Hey, as you know, just from life.
Right.
There's no, hey, we're going to give you a free pass because the last one was good. It's like, no, what's this one now? But they were great.
It's a constant reassessment of what's going on at any moment. But I'm excited to get over there, and hopefully they enjoy it. And I just like a nice sad place to do comedy,
Yes, I agree with that.
I was on stage at the Hollywood Improv the other night, and it was a fun show. But you look out at the audience, you go, we don't need to be doing this.
No, you're right.
Yeah,
we like bleak. Bleak to us is funny.
Yes, that's good. Everyone, ColinQuinn.com. This is where you're going to get tickets to Lucille Lortel Theatre. The run is November 2nd through the 20th. And Colin, we're on the 11th, but I hope you can get over there. I mean, you might not be able to.
What time is it?
What time is it, Ben?
Right.
7?
Yeah.
7 p.m. You're probably.
Oh, forget it. I have a show on the 11th.
You have a show on the 11th. I know.
It's
all right.
Going to play around town somewhere. Maybe that's somewhere else.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll
I'd like
figure it
to
out,
see
my
it.
friend. All right, well, listen, thank you for calling.
All
And
right,
everybody,
thank you.
if
Thanks
you like
for having me
comedy, go see this show.
Thanks.
All right, brother.
I'll see you
Talk
later.
soon.
See you, Colin.
Bye, Ben.